Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here at the First Alert Desk. My name's Karli Barnett, and we want to give you a look at some of the top stories that we're following for your Sunday. I apologize here for a little bit of a delay. I know this is later than we usually get on, but we are learning a new system right now. So we want to make sure that we have everything correct for you, everything in there. So that takes checking off a few more boxes than it did the other day. But hey, maybe you're like me, maybe you're moving a little bit slower because of the adjustment in the time. I know we gained an hour of sleep, but I still feel like any disruption to the schedule can throw us off just a little bit. So bear with me. We appreciate you being patient, and we are glad that you are joining us here. I do want to start off by giving a bit of a reminder for what is coming up this week, and that is that we have municipal elections coming up in the metro Atlanta area. If you'd like to read a little bit more about that, I want to go ahead and direct you to our website, atlantanewsfirst.com. Cobb, Gwinnett, and Fulton County municipal elections, we have three very in-depth stories about those counties in particular. Of course, it is not exclusively those counties, but since those are some of the larger ones in our coverage area, we do have those three different stories up for you right now. You can look at your specific area and any elections that you may have interest in. We hope that you will go and check that out so that you can do a little bit more research for yourself for your particular viewing area. Again, we have stories up online right now on atlantanewsfirst.com for Cobb, Gwinnett, and Fulton County municipal elections. So just a reminder, that is coming up on the 7th, which is Tuesday. So something to keep in mind as you plan your week. Moving on now to one of our other top stories today. There was a protest happening outside of a Marietta church. And this is in light of accusations that a reporter Adam Murphy had previously reported on that a former director at that church is accused of child molestation. Our Bridget Spencer was out there today. The latest is that there was a group protesting outside, and this is what they had to say.
Some former members of Worship with Wonders gathered outside of the church building today, frustrated that a former church director was arrested and accused of child molestation. Marcus Turner, a former director at Worship with Wonders Church in Marietta, sits in jail right now, facing child molestation charges. According to a warrant, he's accused of driving a 15-year-old boy to various locations off church property to allegedly commit the crimes.
He's one of the highest ranking members. The pastors refer to him as their son. So the fact that this has been hidden right underneath their nose the whole time, it's just shocking.
April Nelson is the former children's ministry director who knew of Turner well. She gathered with a group to protest outside the church on Sunday.
He hosted one of the bowling outings that was back in June. It was June or May, sometime this summer, that required a permission slip be filled out by all the parents.
Pastors Miles and Delana Rutherford issued a statement saying in part, quote, "We understand that the abuse in this situation did not happen on church grounds or as part of any church program. Marcus Turner had no position of responsibility for minors at the church."
He baptized my child. I've got pictures of where he baptized her. He had full, complete access to the children.
Protesters say the church should be doing more and taking ownership of what happened.
All I want is them to take responsibility. Quit trying to save their image and just be, hey, we messed up.
In Marietta, Bridget Spencer, Atlanta News First.
So, according to the warrant, Turner had driven a boy that he met at church to both Kennesaw State University's campus, as well as the Frozen Cow Creamery, and then to a shopping center off of Cumberland Parkway in Atlanta. And that is where he allegedly molested the 15-year-old. We are going to stay on top of this news and bring you any developments with this story, but that is the latest in these allegations of what happened. Again, Adam Murphy previously did the report. If you'd like to look at it more on atlantanewsfirst.com, and this protest outside of the church happening this morning. Moving on to one of our other top stories today. Sad news to report here. A woman is in critical condition this evening after investigators say she was actually hit by multiple vehicles early this morning in Atlanta. We have some video here of the scene. And police say this happened in southwest Atlanta early this morning. The accident reportedly happening off of Campbellton Road, right near a Shell gas station at a Boston Fish Supreme in Arlington Estates. Now, only one driver remained at the scene near 1 a.m. The 33-year-old victim did have serious injuries and had to be taken to Grady Memorial Hospital. Police previously had said that the driver who stayed will not be charged because the victim appeared to be in the street. Investigators are now trying to find additional drivers and how exactly this accident happened. So again, police are saying that this was not just one car, but unfortunately multiple cars that hit this 33-year-old woman who is currently in critical condition at Grady Memorial Hospital. And the driver that did stay on the scene, police emphasize, will not be charged. So if you have any information about this case that happened early this morning, you are urged to reach out to investigators as they are trying to figure out how exactly this happened and who all was involved with this. Now, I know I've given you some heavy stories here for your weekend. Of course, these are just a few of the things that we will be covering today. But I did want to bring you this story in light of Alzheimer's awareness. Atlanta News First was a proud sponsor as the Walk to End Alzheimer's yesterday. Our own anchor, Brooks Baptiste, emceeing that. I've got my purple on today. In fact, this is a really special photography project that our reporter Joshua Skinner spoke about. Mark Sennett, he certainly knows quite a bit about photography, and you may not necessarily know his name, but you probably know his work, and you certainly know the work of all of the celebrities that he has interviewed throughout that he has photographed rather through the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. He himself has Alzheimer's, and how this project, this photography project he is doing, he says means a lot to him.
Mark Sennett knows more about photography.
That's great.
Than most of us ever will.
My parents didn't want me to do this, but I did it anyway.
Proving Mom and Dad don't always know best.
Is there a person or an event or something that you photographed as in the 70s that sticks out in your mind more than any of the others?
Steven Spielberg.
But his subject today is not a director or a rock star or a royal, but Dr. Seth Stern and his wife, part of a project Sennett is working on to photograph celebrities and non-celebrities alike.
It's very impressive being photographed by Mr. Sennett.
Stern suffers from frontotemporal dementia, a cognitive disease that affects speech, personality, and movement. There is no cure.
And all because you have a memory disorder doesn't mean that you're a vegetable.
The end goal of the project? A coffee table book destigmatizing cognitive disorders.
You're really kind of informing the public that has this, that it's not all doom and gloom.
And that's important, because you see, Sennett suffers from Alzheimer's as well.
If you don't accept it, you're going to have a pretty lousy time.
So Sennett and his daughter Lauren will spend the next year taking pictures and capturing moments that live beyond memory.
Yeah, it's been an interesting turn to my life, that's for sure.
A turn that includes more laughing, more memories, and living life in between snapshots.
I don't want to go through all that pain. I want to just do the best I can at the moment.
In Roswell, Joshua Skinner, Atlanta News First.
Such a fascinating project that he's doing. Tonight, if you want to join us for a lot more news ahead, you can join us at 10 o'clock tonight on Peachtree TV or at 11 o'clock on CBS. We will have you covered there. And, of course, you can always tune in online through our AtlantaNewsFirst.com website and our Atlanta News First app. Again, this is just a small snapshot, if you will, of some of the stories that we are covering today. And we have another First Alert Desk update coming to you tonight at 8 o'clock. If you want to join First Alert meteorologist Cutter Martin, ask your weather questions, or anchor Tori Cooper, she will be here as well for that. And again, you can join us tonight at 10 and 11 on Atlanta News First. Have a great rest of your Sunday evening. Take care, and we'll see you next time.